The next set of lists, the next set of words, pardon me, and we got spoof. That was the last. That is a parody that we say spoofing. It's informal. But then we have this stamp out is a phrasal verb that means destroyed or stop, stamps out, stamping out. After that, spoof. Then leash, strap for controlling an animal, a control. This is a noun. Or leash, leashes, leashed, leashing, fasten, or control. Starch, an odorless, tasteless white substance occurring widely in plant tissue and obtained chiefly from cereals and potatoes. En español, almidón. Starches, starched, starching, stiffen with starch, almidonar. This is a verb. Tort, a noun, a wrongful act or infringement of a right other than under contract leading to civil legal liability. Tort, a wrongful act or infringement of a right. Tort is a noun. Soothe, black powdery. That it's a verb as well, and if we conjugate this verb, we have to say soothe, soothed, soothing, covered with soot, cloth with soothe. Potassium chlorate. Potassium chlorate is a compound containing potassium, chlorine, and oxygen with the molecular formula KClO3. Wettability is a noun. Wettability is defined as the tendency of one fluid to spread or adhere to a solid surface in the presence of other immiscible fluids. S&B, this is an acronym that means small and medium-sized businesses. ABM, account-based marketing, is focused growth strategy in which marketing and sales collaborate to create personalized buying experiences for individual clients. This is a phrasal verb. It was nothing fancy. We got for tacos. Tier 1, top-level person, thing, enterprise, etc. Excruciate is a rare verb that means torment. Excruciate, excruciated, excruciating. Connive is a verb. Connives, connived, conniving. Circuitly allow something considered immoral, illegal, wrong, or harmful to occur. Good faith. This is informal. Actually, I didn't find information in Google, but what I found is that is a noun that means meet the requirements. No show. No shows is a person who has made a reservation, booking or appointment, but neither keeps nor cancels it. Pyrometer is a noun. It's a type of remote sensing thermometer used to measure the temperature. It comes from the Greek word pyre and meter, meaning to measure. A breast. This looks like a verb, right? But it's not a verb. It's an adjective. This is why the color yellow. In a row, side by side, alongside, abreast. Catch up is a noun that means the act of catching. Fastener, disadvantage, tremor. Catches up, it's a verb that means caught up, catching up, intercept and hold, get or capture, discover. Caught up, get involved in. This is a phrasal verb. Wield, wielded, wielding, be able to use, hold, and use a weapon or tool. wield, weft, to crosswise threads in a loom, weft. It's a noun. Fee, fees, payment, salary, charge. Fifth is the verb. Feeing is a rare verb. That means make payment. Feeds, meal, lunch. This is a noun and it's a verb. For instance, feed, the present, I feed that animal perhaps, and then fed is the past, feeding, that actually means eat or provide. War weary is an adjective that means exhausted and dispirited by war or conflict. Bug out, a phrasal verb that means open wide, to get mad, annoy, leave quickly. Or bug or box, insect, flee, illness, flee. How do you say this? Flee. Okay, I'm going to find it, and I'm going to put this flee. Okay. Bug, but it's a verb as well. Bugged, with double G. Bugging, spy, annoy. Like-minded, having similar taste or opinions is an adjective. Lexicon is a noun that means vocabulary of a person, dictionary, especially Greek or Arabic. A top is a preposition that means on top. Parting shot, a final comment. I think it's informal, this. Parting shot, final comment. Uncharted, unexplored, undiscovered is an adjective. Turn out, turning out, produced, produce. And something like result. It results. Turned out. Audience, attendance is a noun. Get out of here. This is an informal way when you don't believe what somebody is talking to you. For instance, that means, really? I don't believe you. Or, you're not serious. Okay. But you have to say, get out of here. Well, doddering, moving a feeble or unsteady way. Dodders is a noun that means as well widely distributed parasitic cleaning plant. Doddering, an adjective that means moving in a feeble or unsteady way. Root. Stem is a noun that means stalk, trunk, or is a verb as well. Stemmed with double M, stemming, originate, or derivate. But this is the acronym of STEM: science, technological, engineering, and mathematics. Frequent is an adjective that means recurrent, habitual, but you can use it as a verb as well. And then you have to say frequent, frequented, frequenting, visit, habitually, or often. For instance, flaunted, flouting, scorn, disdain, deter, that means discourage, prevent, put off, deterring, harmonize is a cognate, is a easy cognate in Spanish. That is a verb, but you can use it with the or as. A wave is a verb that means the behavior heavier than, or more important than, or greater than. A waving is the way that you conjugate this verb. But then we have infer is a verb that means conclude, reason, or deduce. Inferred with double R, inferring, if you want to conjugate this. Fluted, fluting, speak in a melodious way, play a flute, channeled, or furrowed. Yeah, something that has this furrow, for instance, in a Greek column. But then we have flute, the same word is noun, then is the wind instrument, or a column with flutes, like with furrows. Club, it's a noun that means organization, team, nightclub, clubs, but you can use it as a verb as well when you say clubbing. That is informal, that means go to nightclubs. She enjoys going clubbing in Colorado. Sauce, thick liquid served with food. It can be done as well, alcoholic drink, or you can use this as a verb as well. Saucing, provide sauce, make it more interesting. Be rude with, you can use it as well. In cahoots, in an alliance or partnership. Tapestry is a piece of thick textile fabric. It's a noun. Heartthrob is informal, that means male celebrity who is known for his good looks. Prime is a noun that means a state of time of greatest strength, the beginning of something, or a prime number, a symbol that means this written after a letter or symbol is a distinguished mark, or after a figure, a symbol for minutes or fifth. But you can use it as a verb as well. Priming, make it ready, cover with a preparatory substance before painting, prepare. Then we have, for instance, phrasal verb. Now this is more a phrase or saying that means prime the pump, stimulate or support the growth or success of something by supplying with money. For instance, for example, capital from overseas that helps prime the U.S. economic pump. Pollinate is a verb that means convey pollen to or deposit pollen on. Pollinate, pollinated, pollinating, or pollination is the noun, the transfer of a pollen to a stigma. Spawn is a noun as well. Eggs of a fish or frog, mycelium of a fungus, but you can use it as a verb. Spawning, release or deposit eggs, produce, generate, derogatory offspring of a person. Scanty is an adjective that means limited, modest, informal, short underwear, and those are the superlatives: scantier, scantiest. Revelry is a noun that means noisy parties. Bugle, something like a flute, but actually is a bulbous brass instrument. Bugler is person who plays the bugle, is a noun as well. Catskill, what I found of this is that it's a mountain, a range of Appalachians to the west of the Hudson and southeastern New York, includes many popular resort areas. Gefilte fish, it's a Jewish food. Passover, the major Jewish spring festival, which commemorated the liberation of Israelites from Egyptian slavery, lasting 7-8 days from 17th day of Nisan. Scourge the Earth is a phrase or saying that means burn the enemy and invade their lands. They couldn't get through is a phrase that means they weren't successful. Hold up is a noun that means robbery, delay, trouble. Holds up, trouble, robbery, or delay. But this is a verb as well. Holds up, held up, holding up. That means support, delay, drop, remain, wait. conning, persuade, defraud, memorize a letter, direct the steering of a ship, or a noun as well. Cons, deception, trick, swindle, disadvantage, informal for convict or convention. Dread is a verb that means dread that means anticipate with great apprehension of or fear. Dreading. This word is in a song, Bob Marley's song. I don't remember what, but I don't remember which. Yeah, you have to say which, right? I don't remember which, but they say dread. But you can use it as a noun as well. Great, that means great fear, apprehension, or anxiety. Dread is an adjective as well that means terrifying, frightful. Havoc is a noun that means devastation, destruction, or you can use it as an archaic verb that means havoked or devastate, destroyed. Havocking. Cesspool is a noun that means underground container for liquid waste and sewage. Informal way to say disgusting place. Grubbiest is an adjective that means dirty, disreputable. Slight is an adjective that means small, slim, or insult by not taking care or not paying attention. Slightest. Slight is a verb as well, and you can use it to when you are referring to insult or repulse. Slighted, sliding. Wipe out, wipes out, wiped out, wiping out, eliminate, remove, or an informal way to say exhaust someone. Wipe out, an informal adjective that means complete failure, complete destruction. Glozing over is a phrasal verb, informal, that means to treat or describe something such as a serious problem or error. As if it were not important, he glossed over the accident. Because gloss, you can use it as a noun, or glosses, that means shine, polish, surface, explanation, or a verb. For instance, glosses, glossed, glossing, apply glossy substance to explain or to explain. Size of it. It's a phrase or saying, a phrase that means used to say to what has been stated about a situation is correct. So you mean you won't come to the party with me, Jess? For instance, you won't come to the party with me. Yes, that's about the size of it. Blast means explosion, blare, informal for reprimand, screech. Blast is a noun, or you can use it as a verb. You have to say blast, blasted, blasting, blown up, to blown up, honk, destroy, or criticize. Mainline, noun that means informal for road line, a principal vein, or mainline. The verb mainlines means inject a drug intravenously. Mainliness, mainlined, mainlining. Mainline is mainlines, mainlined, mainlining. Mainline. You have to be like that. Mainland. Legworks is a noun that means work that involves much traveling to collect information, especially when such work is difficult and boring. Couscous, a type for North American semolina in granules made from crushed durum wheat. Granules. Shingle, a mass of small rounded pebbles especially on a seashore. Rectangular tile of asphalt, composite, wood, metal, or slate used in walls or roofs. Shingle. Yeah, this kind of tiles that we see here in Mexico. Not so it's not so common, but for instance in Europe or United States, this gives the this design that is like much more from agricultural places or rural places in the roof of the houses. Shingling, roof or cloth with shingles. Cut a woman's hair. Cloth, wear is a noun that means cloth or wear. Then, but this is a verb as well, and cladded, cladding with double D, provide, dress or cover. Clothed or clothing, dress, cover, support. Quelled, quelling, suppressed. Portly is an adjective. Portliest. Fat, heavy. Ready is an adjective, and we can say the superlatives readier, readiest, quickly prepare, be available, or ready as a verb, and you have to say readies, readying, prepare, or be available. Fail-safe, mechanism to reverse a safe condition, is an adjective. Fail-safe. Fail-safe is a noun that means a system or plan that comes into operation in the event of something going wrong. En español, a prueba de fallas. Fail-safe. Fissile and fissile. I have seen the two pronunciations, fissile and fissile. Able to undergo nuclear fission, a fissile isotope or fissile isotope. Scale back is a phrasal verb that means scaled back, that means reduced in shape. Scaled back, scaling back. Urchin, it's sea urchin, this kind of animal that has a lot of spines, or these that are really dangerous for us if we touch this animal, but it means mischievous young child as well. Urchin is a noun. Why is not moving? Why is not changing? Urchin. I don't know. It's not working. This thing. Well. Then what we have to say? Urchin. Winch, a device for haul or hoist. Winch, something like a pulley. Winch. This is a verb as well. Winching, to pull with a winch. Dot, an ammunition explosive that fails, is a noun. Preposterous, contrary to the reason or common sense, utterly absurd or ridiculous, illogical. Ominous, sinister, menacing, threatening. Racing or racines, noun that means partially dry, grape. Uranium 235, Uranium-235 is a light isotope of uranium of mass of 235 that constitutes less than 1% of natural uranium that, when bombarded with slow neutrons, rapid fission into smaller atoms with the release of neutrons and into smaller atoms. Retort is a noun that means answer or a container to boil something. Or you can use it as a verb. Retort, retorted, retorting, answer. That means answer or to boil in a retort. Hygienic, it's an adjective that means trite, lacking of significance through having been overused or unoriginal or trite. Uranium oxide. Soak up, soaking up, absorb, soak up, soaked up, soaking up. Wicks, a strip of porous material of up which liquid fuel is drawn by capillary action to the flame in a candle, a town, hamlet, or district. Wick is an adjective that means adjective as well, or you can use it as a verb. And wicks, wicked. It's wicked. I've seen this wicked, but how do you say it? Wicked. I think you have to say wicked. Wicked, wicking, absorb or draw off by capillary action. Slug or slugs is a mollusk or an alcoholic drink or an elongated piece of metal. But the verb slugged, slugging, drink alcohol or hit or strike. Machine is a noun, machines, but you can use it as a verb. Machining, to cut, to dry, to lathe, to drill. Squash is a noun, or squashes, that means a state of being squeezed or forced into a small or restricted space. Sweet concentrated liquid made from flavor with fruit juice or the sport. Squashed, squashing, crushed or squeezed. Something with force so it becomes flat, soft. This is the verb. Overall is an adjective that means all inclusive. Overall or in general. Overall, the adverb. Or overalls, it's the garment consisting of trousers with a front flap, like dungarees, right? Overall, that word comes to my mind. Dungarees. Loins is a noun that means middle part of the body. Glisten is the noun that means shining light. But you can use it as a verb. Glistened, glistening, that means shine. Sledgehammer, this big heavy hammer used to break rocks. Nucleus, plural, is nuclei. The positively charged central core of an atom, consisting of protons and neutrons and containing nearly all its mass, or the dense organelle present in most eukaryotic cells. Okay, the nucleus. Shrouded, cover, burial clothes, technical protection, cover, shrouded, shrouding, cover, envelope, veil, shrouded. You can use it as a verb as well. Shroud, protection, cover, clothes, shrouded, shrouding, cover or envelope, veil. Hearsay, it's a noun that means rumor or gossip. But then we have canoe paddle, shore flatted, or for propelling and steering a canoe or small boats. Okay, any of various similar implements used to mixing, stirring, or beating. Taper, tapers, tapered, tapering, reducing thickness. Taper is a noun that means candle or gradual reduction. Taper, okay. Blenders, person who mixes things, or the mixing machine. Hub, it's a noun that means central part of a wheel, center, or that means can mean a center of something as well. Hubs, or is the plural. Oh, nothing at all. It is really archaic. Wash out is a noun, is a verb, pardon me, that means clean a container with water or be excluded. In informal, that means failure. Welding, fuse, join. Welds is a noun that means join. Hang up, hang from a hook is hang up, hangs up, hung up, and hanging up. Hang up, the noun, means end a conversation or emotional problem, neurosis. Goopy, sticky, viscous is an adjective that means that. Expound is a verb that means explain, interpret. Expounds, expounded, expounding. Heave, this looks like a have, but it's not have, it's heave, and it's a verb as well that means pull, throw, breathe, or informal for vomit. Then we say heaves, heaved, or hove, and having. But you can use it as a noun, and heave means the act of a strong pull. Slinging out, to toss away. Sling, the only verb sling, as long as slinging means hang, suspend, dang. Just added the eng term, and it's going to be adjourned. Sling is a noun that means a device to throw stones, support, or bandage. To take away. Take away is this is an informal way. Well, actually, Google didn't tell me nothing about if it's informal or not, but this is one idea that must be remembered, or a food to take to your home, or in golf, another term for backswing. Get used up is a phrasal verb that means to exhaust or strength, to exhaust of strength of useful properties. Exhaust. Polyurethane is a grenade in Spanish. Polyurethanes, but you can use it as a verb. Polyurethaning, that means covered with polyurethaning. Bitness, I found this is like a really informal way to say slang, to say business. Polyethylene is a cognate in Spanish that means polyethylene is the same. Sling off, criticize, or mock. It's a phrasal verb. Sling off, but you can use it as conjugating like this: sling off, slung off, or slinging off. Molly, I think this is abbreviation for molybdenum. Pole or poles, polling, become boring is the verb, but the noun means cloud. Non-committal, reserved, evasive, uncompromised is an adjective that means that unabated, always unabated, it's always strong, never reducing power. This is a very strong word, and I didn't know that. Unabated is an adjective. Inkling or inklings is an adjective that means idea, hint, or insight. Kink, kinks, kinked, kinking, twist, or something like be out of the normal. But the noun means kinks, unusual, twisted thing. Medallion is a cognate. Underfoot is a adverb that means under one's feet, on the ground, or constantly present in one's way, underfoot. A school of fish, the same fish species swimming together. Yeah, we don't have to confuse. We should not confuse with what was the other word? Shoaled fish. When they go with different species, different fish species swimming together, but no. I forgot the word, but I'm going to look for that. Distinct is an adjective that means clear, different, separate, definite. Ascribe is a verb that means attribute, assign. Ascribed, assign. Demise is a noun that means death, or you can use it as a verb. Demises, demised, demising. Convey or grant an estate by will or lease. Squiggles, a short line of that curls in loops in an irregular way, is a noun. Or squiggles, the verb means squiggle, means wriggle or squirm. Squiggling. Considerate is an adjective that means be attentive or thoughtful, and you should not think that is the word consider. Considers is the verb. Considers, considered, considering. And that means take into consideration, contemplate. Idle is an adjective that means lazy, unemployed. Idled, idling, spend time doing nothing. Okay, it's a verb as well. Millages, a number of miles traveled or covered, is a noun. Attest is a verb that means attested, that means certified. Attest, attested, attesting. Deleterious is really formal and means harmful, is an adjective. Lattice is a noun that means gride, or fretwork. This is gride or grit? No, this is gride. Hastelloy, a group of corrosion-resistant metal mixtures that are based on nickel. Laced, it's an adjective that means contaminated with substance, usually harmful or toxic, present in small amounts. Dioxin-laced sludge. For example, lace, the only adjective. Noun means a fine open fabric. Laces, laced, lacing, fasten, intertwine, support, lace into. Seismic is an adjective that means relating to earthquakes or other vibrations of the earth or in its crust, really powerful or important, something that is seismic. Stomach lining or mucosa that produces stomach acid. Neurals is a noun that means small, projecting off or ridge, especially inserts around the edge of something. A booger, rim. Okay, and that's the list for now.